do you identify yourself as a soccer mom or a hockey dad? There are other labels within those groups, and Julie is going to explain why that might not be the best choice. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Why do those terms have negative implications sometimes?
Well, you know, they talk about playing hockey, playing sports, playing an instrument. What our kids choose to do for their extracurricular activities is what they do, but it's not necessarily who they are.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we as parents start labeling ourselves as something that our kids do, like it all of a sudden adds a lot of pressure to the situation. It's not really about us.
Right.
It's about them.
And what kind of pressure does it put on the child to be identifying with the group, like a soccer mom or a hockey dad or a dance mom?
Right. So part of the thing is, where do these labels come from even, right? It's great for media. It's great for salespeople because they can sell us shirts that say hockey mom or dance mom or soccer, you know.
Yeah.
But really, and I guess it helps us to interact, and we can relate with someone. Oh, you're a hockey mom too? Yeah, me too. At the same time, if we are building our identity around being a hockey mom and our kid tried hockey and they really don't like it anymore, but they think that it's so important to us that they better stay doing it, it's putting too much pressure on it. It's their thing.
Yeah.
They need to do it. And really it goes beyond the labels, because a lot of the time what we find and what we're hearing from kids and what we're seeing from parents is that parents are taking on this almost this coach-like role.
Right.
And it's not only in sports, it's also in academics and, you know, the arts as well, where the child is going to a game or to a performance, to a practice, and the parents telling them what they need to do, and then they come off of what they're doing and tell them what they did wrong and what they need to do better, and the parents are yelling in the stands. And all of a sudden, there's so much pressure on these kids when really all they want from us is just to love them,
right,
and to enjoy watching them.
And that can create a negative experience that can kind of escalate as you get into more competitive arenas. So what kind of language do you suggest that parents use when describing themselves in these environments? Because it could have a positive implication that you're identifying with the community.
Sure.
So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
But what do you suggest for parents instead?
My son plays hockey. My daughter plays the violin. You know, that's it.
Right.
If we want it, like, who are you? Well, I'm somebody who loves to do Tai Chi. Like, I can identify myself based on what I do, not on what my kids do, number one. And also, when we're watching our kids, or, you know, hey, I loved watching you play. Or even, how was that for you? Did you have fun out there? How did you feel about it? What worked? What didn't? And then we're asking it from their perspective instead of putting pressure on. Because oftentimes, parents are telling kids to do something. Their coaches are telling them the exact opposite. And then these kids are trying to balance two things. Well, I know you want me to do that, but I'm just trying to do this. Or, you know, do your best, do your best. Yeah, I'm trying to do my best.
Right.
What do you think? I'm going out there not to do my best? You know? So really, as parents, we can love our kids, we can support them, and we don't have to be on them. Our job is to be parents, not necessarily to be the coaches and the teachers and driving them.
Okay, and what about in an instance where perhaps everybody is on board with a competitive, you know, goal, or if the child and the parent are both on board with excelling in a competitive manner? What do you suggest in that scenario?
Well, I think it's sometimes hard to know that because children often want to please their parents, so they just go along. But if it is working, great. I'm not saying fix something that's not broken.
Yeah.
Just be aware how much, you know, reevaluating of a game are you doing in the car on the way home? How much of your identity is wrapped up in what your child is doing? Because what we're noticing is that kids are dropping out of sports earlier because of the pressure. Because if I can't do it at a competitive level, there's no point.
Right.
Whereas for many people, sports is a community event. It's a social event. They want to be with their friends. They're hanging out. They're working as a team. They're getting better than they were, as opposed to being on the number one team.
Yeah. And big picture can be more fun, more friendship, less pressure.
Stress release.
Yes.
There's so many things to come from the playing of sports and the extracurricular activities beyond getting to the top, being the top person. Only one person can be the top. Only one team can be the top. That doesn't mean that the rest of the playing isn't worth anything. So we just really need to get clear of the message that we're sending to the kids.
Yeah, a good evaluation, as always. Thank you so much, Julie.